Yeah, so I like turned up the Texas accent. I'm like, I'm from Texas, y'all. Y'all, I'm not from here, but thank you so much. I know. I've been trying to think of stories, and
It's
two
kind of
pop
hard.
up in my. It is, but two show related because there's a lot of memories of just us,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which we talk about also. But two show related stories, and they have to deal with royalty, and not exactly Disney royalty, but actual royalty. So,
Oh,
do you remember in Thailand
yeah. When the
when the
princess,
princess came
yeah,
to the
the
show?
princess was coming to the
Yeah,
show, but she was late by like
yeah,
5 minutes.
like an hour and a half.
Was it an hour and a half? I don't even
It was an
remember.
hour and a half.
I just
And
remember
they,
that it was so late.
yeah, they kept saying, we're on hold for 5 minutes, we're on hold for 10 minutes. And I just remember I can literally picture the dressing room, and everybody just like, man, how long are we going to wait for the princess? And then she left at intermission.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So the princess of Thailand was supposed to come to the show, and they said you can't start the show until she's here. And they set up. They moved. Do you remember? They moved all of the seats, and they set up
Yeah.
a pedestal and a chair front
Yes.
and center, and nobody else was around. Like,
Right.
it wasn't like a chair next to her or anything, and then like everybody was in the stands behind it. It was like completely secluded in the center
Yes.
of the floor of the audience. And then we held, and it was like maybe 30 minutes or whatever it went in. I didn't remember how long it was, but it was a long, long time. And we're like, what's going on? And then someone says, oh, well, the princess is just leaving the palace. And we're like, she's just leaving the palace? Like, where is the palace and how long? And they go, well, no, because when she leaves the palace, they like clear the roads. So like It doesn't take long to get anywhere. But like before she leaves, it's like a parade. They make sure the entire road is clear before she leaves. And so when she gets here, we're thinking like princess, like a 7-year-old girl going to a Disney show. This chick was like 62. She was this princess, and we're like, who? And then she's sitting there the whole time by herself. And like, if I was a princess, if I was a princess or a princess, I would want my friends next to me so I can enjoy the show and laugh with them and talk. And she's out there by herself, probably like, this is awkward.
Right.
Yeah, and then we held that long, and then at intermission she left, and we're like,
and I was like, she didn't even get to watch Princess Jasmine's Levitation. What the heck?
Well, I mean, truth be told, Act 2 is better than Act 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we're like, we could have done Act 1, and you show up at intermission, and then you watch Act 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we kept talking as cast amongst ourselves, like, can't we just start this? Like, obviously, she's late, and we weren't a priority, And remember, the local host was like, no, you have to wait for the royalty. You have to wait for the princess. And we're like, okay.
We're Americans.
We waited a long time. But that was cool that
it was super cool. But I remember in Thailand, Brad and I were going somewhere on like the metro somewhere, right? Because I think we took the metro to the venue.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going, and it was just the two of us, and we're going somewhere. And as we're walking through the metro, kind of getting on the train and whatever, and like we bump into somebody, and they all speak Thai. Clearly, we don't speak Thai. Bump into somebody. Right. Oh, sorry. And then boom, I knock into somebody else. I'm like, oh, sorry. And then he knocks into somebody, and we're like, what is going on here? And we just keep bumping into people just standing still. And all of a sudden, like, I go, Brad, and I grab him. I go, stop. Nobody's moving. Everybody's standing straight like this.
Oh my gosh.
It was like a horror film. It was like a scary movie because like, what's going on? And we're like, I'm going, whoa. And Brad, he's so dramatic. He's like, and I'm like, dude, don't move, don't say anything. Like, what is going on? Like, we have to figure this out. And then like we stood there for like, I don't know, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, like a couple minutes. And I'm just like, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people start walking again. It was like the
What?
craziest thing. Yeah. And so then I remember, and we're like, what? I remember then asking, I think it was our host or some local, was like, this happened. What was this about? And they go, oh, was it at, noon or whatever?
Yeah.
And they said, oh, they play the King's song.
Oh.
So when you play the King's song, you have to stand still and it's like the national anthem, but like,
Yeah.
and so you have to stand still, don't move, don't talk. And then after the song is done playing, then you proceed. And they play it like every Saturday or every whatever the thing is. But I remember that, and it did freak me out for a second, because you're like, imagine daily life going da da da, and all of a sudden everybody stops, but you.
Yeah.
Like, what is gonna get me?
I can just imagine you and Brad like ping pong balls.
Yeah, no, it was. The first time if you accidentally bump into somebody, you don't realize it. You don't recognize it. You go, boom, oh, yeah, boom, oh, sorry, boom, oh, sorry. Wait a second, what's going on here? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was scary. That it really was. For a second there, I'm like, don't move.
Right.
You know what's
right.
going on? You know what? So since you said I have some just war stories, not show related, you already know what we're going to talk about. So that's
I wonder.
You know exactly. So oh my gosh, I just thought of the other one. Let's start with Egypt, shall we?
Let's start with Egypt. Yes.
Let's start with Egypt. So we're doing the show in Cairo, and Esia and Norm and I decided we wanted to take this like side trip to Sharm el Sheikh, which is a real nice resort kind of town on the Red Sea. And it was cool. And so we're like, cool, we're down, like, awesome, let's do it, let's go. Because we had, I don't know, a week off. Everybody else stayed at the hotel in Cairo, and we're like, let's go to Sharm el Sheikh. So we go to Sharm el Sheikh. We got this resort that was all inclusive, like you had the room, you had the food, it had a pool, had everything else. And the three of us all decided, like, here are the different excursions we wanted to do, right? Like, I remember I wanted to go four-wheeling in like desert. You want to go like snorkeling in the Red Sea. And then we all wanted to like climb to the top of Mount Sinai. So all the things we all kind of wanted to do, but it was like, oh, let's do this. Anyhow, we go to climb the top of Mount Sinai, and you can't climb it in the middle of the day because it's way too hot, right? So we leave at like 11:30 p.m. It's in the middle of the night. We get in a cab and we drive to base camp of Mount Sinai, right?
Yeah.
And then we get out, and we were the first people there that night. And there's these like little like teenager Bedouin guides, like just all, and you kind of just pair with one of them. They're just like, all right, I'll take you. And you're like, okay. And so, and so we start walking up this mountain. So it's me, Esia, Norm, and this guy. And like, as we're walking, it's like pitch black. And there's stars.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's really pretty, amazing stars. But all of a sudden you hear like noise, and it's like, and you're like, what is that? He goes, oh, we're in a camel farm or a camel field. Yeah. And you're like, what? And then he like takes a flashlight, and like, as he turns the flashlight on, you're surrounded by camels. Like, there's camels everywhere. And like, we don't realize it because you're just walking, because you can't see anything. It's so dark. And then he'll stop along the way. He'll say, stop, take a rest here. And we're like, okay. And then I just remember, was it the last steps? It was like, that we're like.
Yeah, like it's called like the 100 steps or something, right?
Yeah.
Or 300, something like that.
You're literally scaling a mountain. Like, it's like these steps aren't steps. You're like climbing. No. And I was tired at the end of it. I'm like, yo, I'm tired.
Of course. Yeah.
And so then we go up, and we're on the top of Mount Sinai. We're the first people there that night. And we're like, wow, cool, we made it. This is the top of it. And then this guy is so like nonchalant, is like, oh, don't step, right there. And you're like, what? He goes, yeah, you're on the edge of the cliff right now. Like literally, you fall off.
Yeah.
Like, but just super
Like,
calm, like, yo, watch out. He was just like, don't take another step. And you're like, what? And then like he gets his flashlight and shows you, and like you're literally on the edge of the cliff. So I was like,
yeah.
like, so, like how many? Anyway, so long
Yeah,
story.
we were like, let's make sure we get a good spot because we don't want anyone to obstruct our view of the sunrise. So let's, I feel like we were like kept scooting forward. Wait a minute.
So,
Calm yourself.
yeah, we get these cots. They're like little mats and a blanket, and we go to sleep for like, I don't know, an hour.
So cold.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was freezing. Hour and a half, and then like we wake up and there's like people all around us.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, who are you? Like when I went to
like you didn't even hear them coming in or
right.
arriving.
Yeah. And so we saw the sunrise on Mount Sinai. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then we're on the top of Mount Sinai. At the end, we go down, and it's great. When we get back to our hotel.
Wait, you didn't even tell about the taxi ride.
Oh my gosh, the guy was insane. So
it was so cold.
It was.
We had layers on. We come down. Now we're burning up. We just scaled a mountain back down.
Right,
we
because
stopped by the bush.
Now it's like around 11 a.m. noon. By the time we get down and we go to like a monastery or whatever, and we see the burning bush. And then we're like, okay, let's get in our cab back. And it's this cab driver. And now we're driving through the desert in midday. We're in tons of layers.
Yeah.
I remember I had like shorts on and like on and pants, and I'm in the back seat, and I just pulled my pants down. I'm just like in shorts.
I remember.
And I'm taking.
I remember.
I'm like in a t-shirt. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm boiling up. We're
boiling, and he's like, the air is on full, and I'm like, I can breathe harder than this. It's like, and then we stopped at the gas station.
We stopped at the gas station, and he's like, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go in. Do you want anything? We're like, no, let's just get out of here. So he comes back after he's in there for who knows how long, like longer than he should. He comes back. It's got to be like 110 degrees minimum.
So
he comes back into the car, happy as can be, sits down, turns around with steaming. It was a tea with steam coming off of it, and literally turns to me and goes, hot tea? And I was like,
and Alex went, no!
I was like,
he had the biggest smile on his face. Hot tea?
Yeah, he was so happy. Hot tea? Like he was doing me a favor. And I go, no, are you crazy? How could you drink that? It is so hot now.
That is exactly what you said. No, are you crazy?
I go, what's wrong with you?
God.
How could you drink that? It's 115 degrees and you're drinking hot tea. There's steam coming off of it. Why are you drinking that? It should be ice water. And like, you're looking at me, and Norm is kind of like, and oh my gosh, you guys, it's like too hot to laugh.
It was like, oh my gosh, that was so funny.
And then at the end of that, we get back to the capper. We get back to the hotel, and we had just climbed a mountain, and you're in denim head to toe, jean jacket, and you had your hair, you have, long, beautiful hair, and it's wrapped, and you have this like thing covering your face. And me and Norm walk in. Norm,
they walk in, no hassles whatsoever.
And then you go to walk in, and they don't let you in
because they didn't let me in. They thought it was a local. They wouldn't let me in.
And then
I was like,
oh wait, Esia is not, they're not letting you in. What's going on? I go, I don't know that lady. I think that you should take her out.
Yes, that is what Alex did. And I was like,
oh, you
my
guys,
gosh.
you guys.
Yeah, so I like turned up the Texas accent. I'm like, I'm from Texas, y'all. Y'all are not from here, but thank you so much for thinking that I am. I think did we have our passports on us, or I think I said in the hotel room, they can go get they can go get my passport for me if you want proof. But y'all didn't, right?
That happened. I think because once you started talking and you don't speak Arabic, and
right.
they kind of realized. But I remember they stopped you as we're going in because you looked like you were a Bedouin guide, and you're not going into the resort. You're standing on the outside, and they both. I think there's like two people there stopping. You're like, guys, and I'm like, let's go, Norm. Norm's like, yeah. He goes, oh man. I go, take her out. She don't belong here.
Yes. Yeah. And speaking of Egypt, I brought a little prop because remember you
brought a little prop. Oh, is that the one we got with Aya?
Yeah, you bought it for me in the market.
Is that with Aya? That's the one that we went to that market. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Yeah, it sits by my TV.
That's amazing. Oh, that's a really good one.
It is a really good one.
Well, the other one. Yes. Puppy.
I was waiting for it.
The Indian adventure.
I'll let you set that one up. Go for it.
Okay. So we were in India for 3 weeks, right?
At least, yeah.
Yeah, and I've just been looking through a lot of my photos because I've never posted any photos from tour. I know. So last year,
I'm going to cut you off real fast because when we were doing that, Instagram wasn't a thing, right?
No.
Like Facebook, I got Facebook because Jorge made it for me when I was leaving Disney to go to Ringling. He goes, we got to keep in touch. You have to have a Facebook. I go, I don't have Facebook. And he's like, no. And he made mine for me on tour at Disney. So this is like pre-social media, really, the hype of it. And so I kind of am sad that, it didn't exist with all those tours because they're on my digital camera, not on my iPhone.
Right. I know. And like Norm did the same for me in Dubai. At the end of our first contract, he set up my Facebook. But even then, I never posted. Like it was always
MySpace.
There was MySpace too. But it was always Norm's photos from all the adventures that our family and friends would see. But I was going through the photos on my digital camera, and India came up. And so we were there for 3 weeks. We had 1 day off, at least of this coming week. I think it might have been our last Monday off. And I was like, we have to go to the Taj Mahal.
Right.
And I had to like convince Norm to go. He didn't want to go. And Jorge, who was dance captain at the time, was like, no, you can't go. That's so irresponsible. Irresponsible of you. Like, what if you don't make it back in time? All these things.
Oh, and wait, so because we had 1 day off.
Yeah.
So it was like shows Monday through Sunday, and then like Monday off, and then Tuesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Something like that. So it was literally 1 day.
It was a very fast turnaround that we would have to do. So I finally convinced Norm and Alex and Nadia, we have to go see the Taj Mahal. Right. So the promoters, they were so cool, weren't they? Yeah. I keep in touch with one of them still too, just on Facebook, but they helped us book flights, and they helped us set up a driver because you fly into New Delhi, right? But then the Taj Mahal is in Agra, and it's a 5-hour drive from New Delhi.
What?
Yeah, so it's like that's the pickup.
The nearest airport is 5 hours away from the Taj Mahal. You can't fly into the Taj Mahal. It's like you have to fly there, then take a real long drive.
Right, or the bus, which there was no time for that. So they set us up with a driver who had just driven the Black Eyed Peas, who we had just seen in Thailand. Yeah, because I was of course nervous, like, oh my gosh, is this sketchy or whatever. He was really nice though.
Yeah, he's really
So we arrive, and remember the first sign we see at the airport, welcome to
It was like, what was it? Where was it? Like, welcome to Russia.
Russia.
Was it
Welcome to
Russia? And we're like, what flight did we book?
Wait a minute, we're definitely not going to make it back for shows now.
Because there, yeah, when you got out of that airport, when you're walking out after you get your luggage or something, and we didn't even travel with any luggage. It was just like, yeah, welcome to, and I remember us going, where are we?
Yeah. Yes. And again, this, like, we would turn our cell phones off and put them in our suitcases. Like now, when we travel internationally, we rely on our cell phones so much still. But back then, no, that was like a paperweight in our suitcase until we were back in America.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
like, power my phone off as soon as I landed. As soon as I took off the airport, wherever I'm going internationally, you power your phone off. It just sat in your bag. And then when you had okay signal, you would Skype, and that's how you would. But you didn't have anything. When you were out in town, you didn't have any phone, nothing.
Right. So how did we find this driver?
He must have been there with a sign or something. He had to.
Yeah. So we connect with the driver, and we start our trek. And I'm in the front seat, and it's, British style. So I'm in what we know as the driver's seat, and the driver's in the passenger seat. And Nadia and Norm and Alex are in the back seat. So we're driving along, and I'm like, wow, this is something. As you know, cows are holy there in India. So lots of cows, lots of scooters, and just modes of transportation. And the way people were on those modes of transportation that are just so like eye-opening, like, wow.
That's a good way of putting it.
Like beds of truck filled with dirt, and then people just on top of the dirt. So they're like transporting the dirt, but also these people who are probably going to work there are taking the ride as well. It was so like amazing to see. So we're going, and there's a big truck in front of us, and I see this dog on the side of the road. Yeah. And I see him starting to cross the street, and I was like, dog, no, listen! Like trying to warn this dog, be careful. And then
Oh, that's not the way I remember it.
Y'all say that I say puppy, but I was like,
no.
I remember the Dane Cook special? The Dane Cook special where he's like, you want to say something, but you can't form intelligible words, so you're just like, instead of, watch out.
So, Mikey, this is what happened.
How do you remember it?
This is how I remember it. I mean, we're on these freeway sort of roads, but like you could just turn off whenever you want. There's no real on-ramp or off-ramp, but you're going as fast as they can, like a freeway, but just it's open. There's nothing, right? And so we're going, and as we're going, Esia and we all clearly see this dog. And it's like, because there's no real cars right there right away, but there's like a car coming up fast, but we still see this dog just kind of trotting around. And Esia was like, it's like as if someone says, like, you're on a cruise and somebody goes, oh, look, an orca. And everybody goes, where's the orca? There's a dolphin. Where's the dolphin? Like, it was an excited, like, we're driving. It's kind of, sketch, wherever we're going, in the desert of India. And she goes, oh, puppy. And so all of us go, oh, a puppy. And right, literally, when she says puppy, a car just, it was going so fast, it almost seemed like instantaneous, like it appeared out of nowhere. But she goes, puppy, and all of us goes, ooh. Car hit the dog. The dog literally, I mean, I'm sorry, everybody listening to this, it's very sad. But
yeah.
The dog literally exploded. It was just like, it didn't go, no. This dog went, it was like,
so
and
we saw it whole, And then we saw.
And so Esia was like, and all like, and like all of us just like, oh my gosh, and you know, you look around and like there's nothing left over of the dog.
No.
Like, what? And we just kept saying to Esia, don't say anything else that you see. You know, anything else.
I was like, curse.
Because it seemed like she goes, puppy, boom.
It literally was. And that was the same reaction. Oh, like horror. It was so insane.
I mean, like,
but that was like,
things happen, but
yeah,
at the timing of it, and when this happened, you're just like, oh, what? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, it was just shocking. It was just shocking.
Yeah.
And so that's why we remember it.
We had also almost been in like, I don't know, almost five wrecks with all the various drivers and crazy drivers. So I was like, my nerves were already shot, and I'm in the front seat, like I was saying. So I'm like seeing all of this, and the drivers, you know, just calm, cool, and collected. I think y'all were, you know, off and on sleeping in the back. Yeah. So it was just like, oh my gosh. And then that on top of everything else was like,
I don't know if you remember this. When we eventually got to the Taj Mahal, we were at round sunset. We're going to be the last ones there. And we started, you know, we did the photos and we went in and it was amazing. And then I started doing hand shadows on the wall, and like a bunch of kids surrounded me. And pretty soon there was like 20 people, like quickly a crowd grew. And our driver was like, we got to leave now. And I was like, what? He goes, you need to stop and we need to go. And I'm like, oh, all right. He goes, no, because you will literally be like mobbed. I'm like, but I'm not even doing anything. Like, I'm just doing like hand shadows, like on the wall.
I have pictures of it too, yeah.
Yeah, and so then after we left, you know, we got to Taj Mahal. We got a flight there, 5-hour drive, but then a 5-hour drive back to get on a flight to get back to the venue the same day, and we can go to a hotel for an hour or two to shower and then go to shows, right? So I mean, it was like that quick. So we were there for like maybe 2 hours or something, and then we get in the car back. And as we're in the car back, I don't know if you remember this, we got pulled over.
Because I took pictures.
Because he's like, don't take any pictures right now. And so Esia taking pictures out the car window. He gets pulled over by a police officer, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's like, okay. And he goes out of the car and he goes talk to the police officer. And we're sitting there going, oh my gosh. Like,
it's definitely not going to make it back to shit now.
Yeah. So then he comes back in and he goes, okay, it's fine. And we're like, so what was that about? He goes, well, because you're tourists, I'm supposed to pay a tax to travel with tourists. But I didn't pay the tax because I said you're friends of like people who work at the embassy in New Delhi. So he didn't have to pay a tax. But then when they saw Esia taking pictures, the police officer says, I know these are tourists. You need to pay a tax. So what he did is he paid off the officer. So he paid the officer, and the officer gave him this little like sheet, this like ticket or whatever, whatever. And he said he has this thing. So if he was going to get pulled over again by another police officer, he showed him that he already paid the cop off. So then the other cop would let him go. So he
wasn't it also that he wasn't a marked
taxi. He wasn't in a marked taxi. He was in a private car, which is why he didn't get taxed or something, is because it wasn't like he didn't have to stop at certain places or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he paid.
It was also like everybody in India thought I was Indian as well. So I was like, dang it.
You know what?
I guess that didn't work in my favor.
And, you know, yeah. You know, no one thought I was Indian when I was in India, but they thought I was Egyptian. So when I was in Egypt, actually, that's how me and Aya became friends. Is Aya talking, and Aya kind of looks at me and she goes, as we're backstage, she goes, are you Egyptian? And I said, no. She goes, you look Egyptian. And I was like, are you Mexican? She says, no. Well, you look Mexican. I don't know. I mean, literally, that's like one of our first conversations we were at.
Yeah. Oh, India. Remember the porta potties in India? Yeah.
You know,
company meal.
I don't
Do you remember the first company meal?
No.
It was brought in like, it was like stew, but in like a plastic bag. You don't remember that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like in a bowl. It was like in plastic bags.
Like,
You did a goldfish
they
in.
came in with the plastic bags, and we're like, I think the company manager was like, nope, let's order some Domino's. And we got,
Who was that company manager then? Was that still Mackie?
was it?
Or was it?
No, I think
Was
it was
it?
Diesel, wasn't it?
Was it?
Was
Diesel?
it Noble?
It was Nobles, Chris Nobles. He came for Egypt and Dubai. There's another
no.
princess of what?
Yeah, sorry. No.
It was J-Mo then too. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I know Chris
Oh,
Nobles was there
J-Mo,
for
yes.
Egypt. Yeah.
Oh, I miss all
And
these
then
guys.
remember-
I forgot.
I know. Do you remember the princess story from Dubai?
No.
We were waiting for the princess to come to that one too. Remember the venue was like so big, it's
Yeah.
huge. And so then, you know, we can hear them on the radio like the princess is approaching, and big old nice cars coming in. The princess is approaching. The princess must use the toilet. And then they open the door, and this little 3-year-old girl runs out. So where I was expecting a princess like from Thailand, and
Yeah,
this
the
time it was
lady,
a little, the little princess, and she just like ran to the toilet. It was really cute.
Yeah, that was.
But
fun.
yeah,
I remember in Dubai. A lot of these are now excursions, not like show-related things. I remember us going on the sand dunes in Dubai, and
yeah,
we were in these like, you know, Land Rovers, and we're going down this sand dune, and all of a sudden we're not driving straight anymore. We're literally going sideways down this sand dune, and I'm on the side that we're falling, and it feels like we're gonna tip and roll over, and sand is just going and like you
yeah,
can't out the windows because the whole windows are covered with sand, and we're like, oh my gosh. And we were the first car because we had like 2 or 3 cars in our line, and we were the first one to go, and everybody's screaming, and I'm just going like, ah, like it's so scary. So then we kind of stop, and we kind of drive off over to this other sand dune, and we kind of are parked so we can see the other car do what we just did.
yeah.
Dude, like he went, the car was going so slow down the mountain. It was like this.
Wait, was that our car?
No, I don't know. Oh wait, yeah, yours, because I wasn't in the same car as you. But I remember looking at that car going, wait, why is it going so slow? It's like, that's what we did. I go, it felt like we were like gonna die. And it's just so slow, casual.
Yeah, but Megan was in my car, and Megan has a big phobia of the cars tipping over. So she was like, can we take it a little bit easy? So maybe it was my car, or the car that I was in slowly, because she was, I think there's a picture of her. Oh no, it's you. Like, you're like, right? There's someone.
Probably.
And then when
sandboarding, that was fun.
Yeah.
That
And
was,
all the sand, they got in all shoes.
yeah.
That was amazing. Then we went to like, they had camels there, and we were like, we rode camels in Egypt. We're good, but all right.
Yeah.
Remember? And then we went to that like camp for dinner and belly dancing.
I remember also the indoor snowboarding, and also the at the end of the tour, we got that yacht, and we had a party, end of the year party on that. I mean, that was a good tour. I mean, it was nice how it ended, you know, how it kind of started off. Not how it started off, because it started off in Japan, which was amazing. It's just that those 3 months in that country, that was rough.
Yeah. that was really rough. I just remember being
back. Everybody said, like, everybody that says they didn't, that tour's back, you know, great. And it was just that our tour was the one that had the nightmare.
We were the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
The guinea pigs in every tour
of China that had ever been done by an American company.
Yeah. And I don't think, I just remember being in the hotel room with Norm and being like, I am so hungry. I'm so hungry and there's nothing to eat. But also that's when my thyroid was like working triple time. So my metabolism was really fast, but I can't remember what city it was. I remember that we would go to a restaurant that we had found, and it was like a really scary traverse. Like I videotaped it. It was so scary just because it was like so bumpy, and the driver was just taking it like it was his everyday life, which it is. But
I remember in China taking a taxi, and there's 2 lanes going each way, and we were in a taxi driving in, like, if there's 2 lanes going this way, we're in like this lane going forward, and there was a car in front of him and a car on his side, and he wanted to go around to pass, but there's a car next to him, so he couldn't pass, and the car in front of him was going slow that he wanted to pass. So he didn't wait or try and, go this way. He literally went into oncoming traffic to pass. Okay, now that's fine when it's on a highway with like, a dashed yellow line. That's in the States, that's kind of what happens. This is like on business roads. This is not, we're crossing, there's restaurants and businesses and there's like people on crosswalks. This isn't just, so he goes into oncoming traffic, and I'm just like, okay. So we're in going oncoming traffic as he's trying to pass this car, and not just like one car in front of him. There's like another car in front of that. So he's going in front of that car too. So he's like going past, and now a car is on its way now head on. And I'm like, this is what you want. This is, and so then rather than like putting on the brakes, going back into the lane in the direction he's supposed to be in, no, car's going this way, oncoming traffic. He goes more into oncoming traffic. And I'm just like, okay, there's nothing here that, no. And so now we're in 2 lanes of oncoming traffic, and he's kind of weaving, and then we finally go over. But I just distinctly go, all right, I mean, if I die, I'm probably not though. And it's like I go, but I also kind of felt really calm and safe, Yeah. It's like, okay, we're just going on head-on traffic, but I'll be fine because this is what they do.
I know. I remember Lisa saying that all the time. She's like, just put on your seatbelt, but they know what they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And back when we like had to get the business cards from the front desk so that we could show the taxi, not like now with Uber and.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. So crazy.
I always remember going to, when we were in Japan as well, in China, and we had ordered food at a restaurant, and you go, oh, you just point to the picture in the menu.
Yeah.
I always would ask one. They're like, and you're like, this one here? They go, 1? Yeah, 1. Like, no, I want 13 of them. I'm gonna eat 7. No, 1, of course 1. It's just me. Like, isn't that funny? Always 1. But then pretty soon you start doing that, and you get accustomed to that on tour. So you're on tour for a year going 1. You get back to the States, and someone goes, what do you want? It's like, I'll have 1 burger, 1. And they're like, yeah. It's so funny.
I'm gonna ask if you want more.
Yeah. Just 1. Yeah.
Just the 1.
Yes.
Oh man. I wanted to show you one more thing.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of things to keep talking about, but wait, are you gonna?
We got a friend for you.
We have a friend for you, yes.
Oh my! Wait, what? Who is that? That's Norm.
That's you.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Wait, I can't do this. That's you.
That is. That is me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wait! Hold on! Wait! Wait. I have the original.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Wait, look, here's what you signed it.
Funny.
Where did you sign it? You signed on the back?
No.
There you are.
Ooh, Del Alejandro. I wish you happiness and says feelings. I'm so proud to have you. 2009. What is that? 2009, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, how cool.
Hey, show that again. Yes, I have the original. Yeah, I left tour. You guys, everybody signed this for me, and
yes,
I'm trying to mount it over on the side of the wall behind the door, so when you close the door, you see this.
Well, that's when we look here. We hold that. That's what we were gonna do. We were setting up our shot, and I was gonna be like, "Hey, Mikey, can you close the door?" There you are.
There I am. Yes, I'm in your household.
Yes, you've been in our household from Orlando to here.
Awesome. That's so funny.
Yes.
That one was, yeah, I guess that was after I took this one, or maybe we took that photo and they made it before. I don't remember.
I don't either, because they're different.
They are different photos. Yeah, they're different photos.
Different, and your sleeves are different, but.
You know what? I think because I said I wanted it, and I said, "Can I keep this?" And I think I think I said to Nate, I go, "I want to keep this," and he goes, "Okay." And so he ordered another one. We ordered another one, so we had one when I left, and I took this one. Yeah.
And then I think when we got, not even until
it was
stage tour that we took a picture of the current Benny, and then we kept this one.
I'm trying to think when we did it.
Oh, maybe Europe. I don't know.
I think it was. Yeah. Europe.
I think it was Europe.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. I'm glad you guys are doing good, and just kind of we're all on hold, and hopefully all this goes away as fast as it came.
Yes. Hopefully. But stay safe.
All right. I'll chat with you later.
See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.